So yeah, so affiliate marketing was great. And the interesting thing about affiliate marketing, which you guys know, is it gives you the opportunity to learn skill sets that are really valuable, like traffic generation, and a little bit of influence as well, copywriting and things like that. Super valuable skills. And what's really cool about affiliate marketing that I love, and I love what you've created for people, is that there's none of the bullshit that goes along with, or not none of it, but less of the bullshit. Yep. And by the bullshit, I mean hiring employees, creating org charts, roles and responsibilities, firing people, dealing with drama, like I could go on and on, overhead, payroll, just
stuff we have to do.
Stuff we have to do, and you guys get to just like learn a couple of skills, drive traffic, learn how to influence people, and you can actually achieve a lifestyle business, which is awesome. Would you guys agree? Yeah. So when you guys started out, did you start out wanting to create a huge empire where you had 800,000 team members and like you were responsible for the lives of a bunch of people, and was that your goal, or did you just want to like quit your job and create something for you, some sort of a little freedom? Yeah, absolutely. So I was just like you guys. I originally started, I was like, I just want to like make some money and be able to, do it consistently instead of that, roller coaster ride that I was on. And unfortunately, what I learned is that no tactic creates lasting success. Would you agree with that, Misha?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's important to have skills and it's important to employ tactics in the context of strategy. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. So that's what I learned, and that's the journey that took me from this to this. Yep. And there was still little dips and little valleys, but it was always like being able to incrementally get better and improve. And I went from being like you to saying, you know what, I want a lifestyle business. I want the laptop lifestyle. I want to travel and just like be on the beach and drink beer and have money coming into my inbox on autopilot, right? That was my mindset. And what I learned is all of those things come as a result of discipline, of accountability, of strategy, right? So all the things that I'd rebelled against in my childhood. And so if I could leave you guys with anything, so JT, one of his favorite people to listen to is Jocko Willinks. You guys familiar with him? He was a Navy SEAL, and he has a saying that I really like, and it's discipline equals freedom.
Yep.
Isn't that cool? And it's like, it's so counterintuitive. It's so strange to think discipline equals freedom, but it does. Because if you do today what most people won't, you can live the rest of your life like most people can't. And it's pretty fucking cool. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I kind of everywhere.
No, that was perfect.
Right.
And I know one of our mentors that we work with, Keith Cunningham, has something similar. He says, there's no such thing as financial freedom without financial discipline.
Exactly.
So it's 100% true. So I know you touched on, the fact that tactic and tactical success doesn't necessarily equal long-term success. Mm-hmm. And there's a stark contrast between tactic and strategy. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of the people in this room right now have learned, a few amazing tactics, a bunch of amazing tactics mm-hmm. from all of our various speakers up here over the weekend. But can you just expand upon that a little bit?
Sure.
For people, the difference between the two
mm-hmm.
and how tactics drive strategy, and you're best at explaining it. So
yeah, and this is probably going to take us, like on a really interesting ride. I'm going to share with them what I just did. This is perfect. Okay, so I flew from Baltimore, Maryland this morning. I woke up at about 3:20 a.m. I wish I could show that picture I showed to you. So I'll just tell it as best as I can. So I was at a martial arts event, and I was very honored to be chosen as something called an Atomo. Anyone know Aikido, the martial art of Aikido? Aikijitsu, Jiu-Jitsu, Aikido. I've done martial arts my whole life. I've done Jiu-Jitsu, I've done a little bit of Aikijitsu, Judo, and now for the last, I think 15-ish years, I've done Aikido. And our head of our organization is in Hawaii. And once a year, he comes out to the East Coast, and this time it happened to be at one of our sister dojos in Baltimore, Maryland. Anyone here from Maryland? No? No one's representing?
Couple in the back.
It was,
There we go.
so when I got on the plane this morning, it was freezing and raining. So it was awesome.
So he hates Maryland.
No, I loved it. It was so cool. And the crab cakes, holy crap. Amazing. Man, I'd fly over there just for the crab cakes, seriously. You can't get crab cakes anywhere else like that, right? You guys agree? Like Baltimore crab cakes? So anyway, about 5 days ago, I flew into Baltimore, Maryland, and I was very nervous, and I was very fearful, actually. I was chosen to be a tomo, and a tomo in Japanese means great friend. Does anyone speak Japanese? No? Yeah. So O is great, and tomo is great friend. Not friend in the casual sense that we Americans perceive friendship, like, hey, buddy, what's going on, Misha? You know, what's going on? It's not that kind of friend. It's a honor and respect type of thing. So as a tomo, you're chosen to be, number one, security, and number two, service to the the head of our organization. And he flew to Baltimore. I was chosen to do that. I was telling Misha, you can't have enough pockets for the stuff you need, right? So I'll give you an example. If he gets up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, if I'm not in the same room with him, which on this trip I was not, I'm in an adjacent room, I have to be able to hear him open the door, run out, get my flashlight, and shine it to take him to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Shine it to take him, he follows the dot to his room. And unfortunately, because he was in an adjacent room, I failed miserably. And anyone familiar with Japanese tradition? Like, you don't get compliments. They don't go, hey, good job. They don't. They just tell you when you screw up. So I was really trying hard to and like if we're in a crowd or something and someone bumps into Sensei, and Sensei is your instructor, basically. He's the head of the organization. If someone bumps into him or jostles him or accosts him or anything like that, you might as well just anyway. It's not good. It's like it reflects poorly on my sensei, and it's just not a good thing to do. So as a tomo, your job, number one, is security, number two, service. So you have to walk ahead of him through any doors. Here's the interesting thing. You guys know double doors, right? Set of doors, set of doors. Whoever would have thought it would be so freaking complicated to deal with double doors. And so you have to, so basically you have to be in two places at once. If the doors are really far apart, you're screwed. Because here's the thing. It's you walking behind and to the left of Sensei until there's a crowd or something, then you have to get in front of them. But you're walking behind and you see the restaurant and you're, oh shit, double doors, no. And so you gotta run ahead. You have to open the first set of doors, and there's a bunch of other senseis coming. Sorry to get in front of Misha. There's a bunch of other senseis coming too. You can't let the doors slam on them, but you have to open the second door and enter the room first before Sensei gets in there to make sure everything's clear and he's secure. So it looks like, kind of like, if they're close together and you're lucky to have that, it looks kind of like this. And someone hopefully will grab the door before it slams. And you get up there and you're like, clear the room, and you're like, okay, you're good. The Phoenix has arrived, So that's like how everything's got a protocol, and it's very humbling to serve in that capacity. And people go, well, what would you do that for? And
that's what I said.
Yeah. So it actually comes full circle to your question. What's the difference between tactics and strategy? Martial arts is not about techniques. It's not about tactics. It's an art. It's about depth, it's about meaning, and it's about strategy. That's what martial arts is. It teaches you strategy. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you to be present so you can anticipate the future. Do you think those are worthwhile in business as well? Yeah. Absolutely, right?